Assalamu alaikum. My name is Asanjar Waheed and I welcome you to the new episode of Legal Opinion. Today we have with us Mr. Nouman Qaiser, Advocate High Court and Head of Department for TEVTA, Government of Punjab. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Today our topic of this discussion would be the service law of Pakistan. So tell us about your journey from being a law student to a successful lawyer.
I started my career in 2009 after having graduated from one of the prestigious law schools in Lahore. And after that I worked in various law firms at different positions in Lahore, Karachi, as well as Islamabad. And thereafter in 2013 I proceeded abroad to UK to do my LLM in commercial law. Upon my return, I joined one of the successful law firms as their partner. I worked there for a couple of years before joining my current position as Director Legal TEVTA, Government of Punjab. Apart from that, I write daily articles in a number of English dailies on political and legal topics, as well as I teach in various law schools the subjects of commercial law, corporate law, and service laws, which of course is my specialty.
So my next question from you is, what is your opinion about the service laws of Pakistan?
Well, when we talk of the phrase service law, we are basically referring to the employment law in the government sector. In today's discussion, inshallah, I'll try to talk about the employment law in private sector as well, a little bit, but mostly my focus would be on the service laws in the government sector. So the service laws in Pakistan, they basically originate from the Constitution of Pakistan as any other law. It originates from the Constitution of Pakistan. Basically, the Article 260 that mentions about the term service of Pakistan. So that is the term that defines that any post, service or office that is connected with the affairs of the federation or province. And any person working in that particular post, he is considered to be on the post of the service of Pakistan. So all the laws and terms and conditions of service, they are defined in Article 240, and thereafter we have an Article 212 as well, which actually defines that the people in the service of Pakistan, they are going to go to service tribunal to avail their remedies rather than the High Court.
That's impressive, sir. You have a very strong legal background. As you refer to the term service of Pakistan, what's the difference between civil servant and a non-civil servant?
Well, first of all, before I go on to elaborate the difference between the civil servant and the non-civil servant, it is important to understand the distinction between the term service of Pakistan and the civil servant itself. As I mentioned earlier, it is the term service of Pakistan that is mentioned in the Constitution. The term civil servant is nowhere mentioned at all in the Constitution. Civil servant, the term civil servant, it has originated from the Civil Servant Act 1973 of the federal government, of the federation, as well as the respective civil servant laws in the provinces. The civil servants basically, they take a chunk out of the service of Pakistan. Service of Pakistan includes all the posts, whether they are connected with the civil or the armed forces of Pakistan. Whereas the term civil, as the word civil connotes, it only takes a chunk of the civil servants from the post of service of Pakistan. So when we are talking of the civil servants are those who are performing civil works on civil posts in connection with the field of federation. Whereas the term non-civil servant is concerned, we know there are different statutory bodies. For example, TEVTA itself, where I work, I'm not a civil servant. So any statutory body which has the power to formulate its own terms and conditions of service, its employees will be non-civil servants. Whereas the government departments, the government ministries, which do not themselves have the power to make the terms and conditions of the service of their employees, their service will be governed by the provisions of the Civil Servant Act 1973, or for that matter, the respective civil service laws in the provinces. So that is the distinction between the civil servant, non-civil servant, as well as the term service of Pakistan.
Very well said. So as you explained us about the different terms of services of Pakistan, would you like to tell us about what are the remedies available to the employees working in government organizations?
It all depends whether that particular employee is a civil servant or non-civil servant. Like I mentioned earlier, a civil servant is the one who is an employee of government department or ministry. And this government department and ministry does not have its own separate terms and conditions of service for these employees. So hence, these employees will be governed by the provisions of the civil servant laws. As per the Article 212 of the Constitution of Pakistan, these civil servants, the term mentioned in Article 212 is the service of Pakistan, but when it is read with the civil servant laws, these civil servants will have the remedy before the respective service tribunals. If he is a federal government employee, then of course the federal service tribunal, and if he is a provincial government employee, then the respective provincial service tribunal. So the remedies, I'll elaborate once again, the remedies depend upon whether that employee is a civil servant or the non-civil servant. The non-civil servant, on the other hand, he will have a remedy before the High Court if his terms and conditions of service are determined, they are governed by the statutory rules. If on the other hand, if terms and conditions of service are governed by non-statutory rules, then he'll have to go and knock at the door of the civil courts.
So you just mentioned the terms statutory and non-statutory rules. My next question to you is, what are the differences between these terms?
Statutory, as the word itself connotes, it is something that originates from a particular provision of a statute or under that statute. So if terms and conditions of service of a particular organization, they have been derived, their power has been derived from a particular provision or under it, then that terms and conditions of service can be considered as statutory rules of service. If on the other hand, if such an organization, the one which has been incorporated under a statute or under a government notification, its terms and conditions of service do not originate from a specific provision of the statute. For example, the bylaws, we are all aware of the bylaws. They are meant for the internal working of the organization. They do not originate from any specific provision of the Constitution. So those terms and conditions of service will be called non-statutory rules. So the employees who are governed by the statutory rules, their remedies is before the High Court. And the employees whose terms and conditions originate from the non-statutory rules, their remedies are before the civil court. So that is the brief distinction between the statutory and non-statutory.
So we just mentioned government employees. My next question to you is, do private employees have any such remedies?
Well, the private employees, they are governed by the Contract Act 1872, as we all know. There is no separate law which caters to the terms and conditions service of the employees working in private organizations, as well as the remedies available to them. So if they have any grievance at all against their employer regarding terms and conditions of their service, which I mentioned, start from their initial appointment, promotion, transfer, pay package, salary, and pension, so they'll definitely go and file a suit before the civil court. Here I would like to emphasize one important thing, that the employees working in non-statutory organizations, the organizations whose terms and conditions of service are governed by non-statutory rules, as well as the employees working for the private organizations, both of them have their remedies before the civil court. And in case they're terminated, they will not be reinstated. Their only remedy would be claiming the damages.
सर अब आपसे हमने काफ़ी बात की लीगल ओपिनियन और आपकी लीगल फील्ड के बारे में. अब आपसे हम बात रैपिड क्वेश्चंस करेंगे आपकी पर्सनल लाइफ के बारे में. सर आपकी फेवरेट कार कौन सी है?
मेरी फेवरेट कार जी FX है. वो जो आपको इंटरेस्टिंग बात बताता हूँ, ये FX वो है जो 1980s में मेरी पैदाइश के बाद चलती थी और आजकल सड़कों में बड़ी नज़र आती है. उसके अंदर जो कंफर्ट है वो किसी BMW या मर्सिडीज में भी नज़र नहीं आएगी.
सर आपकी फेवरेट मूवी कौन सी है?
फेवरेट मूवी है मेरी शॉशैंक रिडेम्पशन. ये 1990 में एक मूवी आई थी प्रिजन के बारे में. दैट वाज अमेजिंग मूवी. अभी भी वो ऑल टाइम बेस्ट मूवी कंसिडर की जाती है.
आपकी फेवरेट एक्ट्रेस कौन सी है?
फेवरेट एक्ट्रेस मीरा जी. देखिए मीरा जी के होते हुए मैं किसी और के पास जा नहीं सकता, उनके बारे में सोच भी नहीं सकता. क्या कमाल एक्ट्रेस हो.
आपकी फेवरेट हॉलिडे डेस्टिनेशन?
फेवरेट हॉलिडे डेस्टिनेशन, वेल लेक डिस्ट्रिक्ट इन UK, म्यूजिक. لیکن پاکستان میں آپ کو ایک انٹرسٹنگ بات بتاؤں, میرا زیادہ چکر کاغان دران سے آگے نہیں لگا, لیکن جو میں نے حنزہ گلگت بلتستان کی تعریف سنی ہے, مجھے لگتا ہے کہ ایک ڈسٹرکٹ پیچھے رہ جائے.
فیوریٹ چیف جسٹس آف پاکستان؟
آف کورس جسٹس ثاقب نثار صاحب, آف کورس. جس طریقے سے وہ ایکٹیو پارٹ لے رہے ہیں ملک کو سیدھا کرنے میں, اور جوڈیشل ریفارمس بھی ہوپفلی چلتے چلتے کریں گے وہ, لیکن وہ ان کی جو ایفرٹ ہے دیٹ از کمنڈیبل.
سر اینڈ میں آپ کوئی میسیج دینا چاہیں گے ہمارے ویورز کے لیے؟
ویل سب سے پہلے تو میں لیگل اوپینین کی ٹیم کا, کے ایل سی کی ٹیم کا انتہائی مشکور ہوں کہ انہوں نے مجھے یہ موقع دیا کہ میں اپنا جو 10 سال کا نچوڑ ہے جو لیگل ایجوکیشن کا, لیگل ٹیچنگ کا, لیگل پروفیشن کا, وہ میں کوزے میں بند کر کے اپنے ویورز کے سامنے پیش کر سکوں. اور اس طرح کی ایفرٹس میرے حال میں ضرور ہونی چاہیے, کیونکہ آج کل ینگسٹرز کے لیے ایجوکیشن کو ٹریننگ کا کوئی فورم ایکسسٹ نہیں کرتا. سو ونس اگین آئی لائک ٹو تھینک کے ایل سی اینڈ لیگل اوپینین ریگارڈنگ دس ڈکلیریشن.
تھینک یو ویری مچ. تھینک یو ویری مچ فار کمنگ آن آور شو سر. آج آپ نے دیکھا کہ آج ہم نے بات کی سروس لا آف پاکستان پہ. ہم نے پوچھا سول سرونٹس کے بارے میں, ان کو ریمیڈیز کیا اویلیبل ہیں if they are terminated from their job, remedies available to private sector employees if they are terminated. Inshallah, see you soon with the next episode of Legal Opinion. Khuda Hafiz.